Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Podcast from the pods, podcast from the pods, podcast from the pods. Pods 4100 at the Mecklenburg County Detention Center, because we do not say jail and we do not say inmates. Well, we're going to jump right in it today. We're going to give you about a 30-minute conversation from inside podcast 4100, or let me correct that, inside pod 4100 at the Mecklenburg County Detention Center. So we have a guest today. And I let the people introduce themselves, tell us what they want to tell us, and we go from there. So we're going to have a conversation today about mental health, and because that's the biggest thing in the news as we speak, mental health, both the people who are incarcerated and even the people in the streets. So we're going to talk about mental health and what we're doing here at the Mecklenburg County Detention Center. So I'm going to let my guest introduce himself today, and then we're going to ride from there. Where are you from?
Originally, I'm from New York City, but I've grown up down here.
Okay, what part of New York? What borough?
Harlem.
Ooh.
Manhattan, yeah.
You love that, don't you?
Yes, sir.
I know, but most people don't even know where Harlem is. So, and how long have you been in Charlotte?
I've been in Charlotte since I was about 5-6 years old.
Oh, you can't claim New York then.
Yes, I can.
No,
I
man, you can't claim. I claim New York, and I would just visit every summer. You know, and I'm happy that the Yankees spanking everybody too. Anyway, I won't get onto that. But we just want to talk to you, man, and give you some time to talk about it. How long have you been here with us?
So I actually just hit my 40th month on the 19th of September.
September. So you've been here 40 months.
Yes, sir.
So when people think that you're being here for just 3 or 4 days a week, that's a lie.
Yes, it is.
So you were here 40 months.
Yes, sir. First offense. First time ever being locked up.
Wow. Now, here's what I tell everybody. We don't talk even about what you've been locked up for, because we don't even say locked up. We just want to know so this is good. This is your first experience being incarcerated.
Ever.
And you came here at what age?
24.
24. So you how old now?
27.
You came here at 24, 25, 26, 27.
Yes, sir.
Came in at 24, here at 27. Was it something that you believe, well, let me back up. What people say about the detention center and jails across the nation, what did you hear how bad it was going to be when you got here? What were the horror stories?
So I actually never had any horror stories as far as for detention centers down south. You know, growing up in New York, my grandfather worked at Rikers Island, so
Okay.
I've always heard the stories of that facility, but I literally was naive to all of this. Like I wasn't in an environment where I knew the elements of criminal activity.
Is your grandfather still living?
No.
Okay. Did he pass while you were here or before you got here?
No, he actually passed before I got here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wish you could have had a conversation with him and just say, Pop, a little different down here.
A lot different. From the stories of what he told me, like the things that we have available here, and even just the treatment that we get is 10 times different.
Now, let me make sure that we validate that. Me and you didn't talk before this, did we?
No, sir.
And you just see me because I'm always around.
Yes, sir.
I'm always around. But so this wasn't, people think, well, he just got this guy here and he's going to say what he wanted to say. We never met. We didn't even go a script what we're going to talk about.
No, sir, we didn't.
Straight raw.
Yes, sir.
And then you brought your book, and I got one sheet of paper, so you got a book. So when you got here, what do you remember your first night being like?
It was a shell shock to my core. Like hearing the words that I didn't have a bond and I wasn't going home that day, it was like, and there's no way. Like, I've never been in trouble. I've never even, the worst thing I had was probably a speeding ticket. So to be told that I can't go home no matter how much money I can pay and I have to sit here until I'm done with the courts was just, it was unimaginable.
Okay. How did your family take it? Your mom's here or your family? Who's in Charlotte?
So my mom and my father both live in Charlotte with my little sister. And it probably hurt them a lot more than me because me and my mom are so close. You know, this is the first time that we've ever been separated for a number of, years since she was in the military. And that was only my first 2 or 3 years of my life.
So when you got here, it was tough for her, tough for your dad. How's she taking it now? I mean, how do you think she's dealing with it?
So, I mean, different aspects of it. You know, she has her days where, you know, she'll get down because it'll be a certain time of year that she'll be like, you know, she knows that I would have came over to the house a lot more during that time, like around now. The holidays coming up, I'm always around with my kids and stuff like that. So these are around the times that it kind of gets hard for her. But we've gotten better on it. I know one thing that does affect us both a lot is the contact, well, not the contact visits, but the face-to-face visits. We don't do them.
You don't?
No.
Why not?
Because for us, psychologically, it's too emotional, like to be that close to each other, but so far away in a sense. Like, I can't even touch her. And so we've only done 2. One was when I first got locked up, and then the second time I seen my mom in person was my bond hearing in February. I seen her in court.
Okay, so let me back up here now. So you've been here almost 3 years.
And I'm sorry, correct myself. I've seen her 3 times in person.
Okay, so you've seen her 3 times in 3 years.
Yep.
And so you all came to an agreement that y'all not going to see each other.
Not physically. We do the at-home visits every week. So
Okay.
we do the screen because it's kind of psychologically you can just pass it off as like this is like a FaceTime.
Okay.
So that's how we.
I'm glad that you said that, man. You're teaching me something. So you all rather do the screen time because it's like TV and you can go away.
Yes.
But sitting there with the glass between you all is hard.
It's too hard, especially, you know, you get 25 minutes for your visit and stuff like that. And the hardest part is to be told, you know, all right, man, it's time for you to go back. And a lot of the officers, they relate to it. You know, they know it's hard. So they're not being, you know, on your neck and nothing about it. But it's just that your time is up. Somebody else might need this spot. And it's like to have to tell my mom goodbye and not be able to see you again for another week or whenever you can come back down here. It's too hard for either one of us. So we both just made an agreement.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So yeah, you threw me for a loop here. So let me ask you this. And we're gonna put this out no matter what I say or what anybody else say, because this is just a off the cuff conversation. We're having conversation, and I'm like this all the time. So what if I make an arrangement for you, your mom, to have that conversation one-on-one in the same room, no screen between you all, that y'all can sit down? Would that help you right now? I wish I'd have known that, man. If you had somebody said that, I would have done that a long time ago. But because I have that capability. But I don't know if you want to do it now, or do you still want to have that done? Like you and your mom sit in a room,
Yeah.
and they can show it to your room. The room is on the first floor. It's not a room like this. It's a couch and some tables and some chairs and some coloring books, because it's for kids really visiting their parents. I mean, if you want that, I can make that happen.
I mean, that would be, phenomenal to be able to see her, because I will say, like, out of all the programs I've done, which all of them are amazing, but that 1 hour I got to spend with my mom at the end of my BHU graduation was like out of this world. Like, to just be able to hug my mom.
And see, that's why we want to tell people, because people don't know what it's like here.
Like,
so to be able to hug your mom, because the human touch is something.
And just think about it, 3.5 years without touching another human, and then to be able to hug my mom. Like, I get emotional right now just thinking about how I felt being able to hug my mom and my dad, because they're both my best parents.
Wow.
So it's like they're like my best friends. They've been supportive of me all my life. They gave me everything I needed to grow up to be successful.
Yeah, see, and I think that you said this before we start this, that you may be going home soon.
Yes, sir. I have the opportunity to go home in December.
So you're going to have to make me a promise then.
Oh, I won't be coming back.
No, but I want you to come back.
Well, yes, I won't be coming back as a resident.
No, you'll be coming back as a resident. You won't be coming back as a resident, but I want you to come back and have conversations with my staff, and I want you to come back and have conversation with us. That means everybody who's housed here. But because I want that from you, we talked about I want that from you. So mentally, it was challenging.
Yes, especially being that I grew up in a house where mental health was existent, but for me, it wasn't. Like, my baby sister, she is on the spectrum. She has Asperger's, so she's high performing autistic, and she also is bipolar and slight schizophrenia. So I knew about mental health, but to me it was like, this is not something I experienced. This is something that I experienced with my sister. But then when I got here, I really self-reflected that I actually do have some of these. I have PTSD. I have anxiety. I get slight depression in certain times of the year. And I had to actually deal with these things without the coping mechanisms that I might have had on the outside, which would be self-medicating.
Wow. So how has, now you've been here for 3.5 years. You said before we start, you took every program.
Yes, I've taken positive mindset. I've taken the non-reentry. I've taken NCER, the reentry program, substance abuse, BHU, everything that was available to an English-speaking, because I accidentally signed up for ESL, but I couldn't take that.
Why you couldn't take Spanish, man?
No, ESL is English second language. They don't teach Spanish. They teach them Spanish. They teach them English.
Second language. Oh my God.
Yep.
So you signed up for that?
Yeah, I did. When I first got here, I was just like, I'm signing up for everything.
And then it's English second language. You should have taught the course then.
They was like, I don't think you need help with this, sir.
So if you had to tell the people, what was your biggest challenge here?
My biggest challenge was acclimating to the environment. Like, you literally have to live a different way in here. You know, out in the world, one of the examples, I'm a very heavy sleeper out in the world. But in here, that's not something you can do. Like, you're not, if your door pops for any reason, you're up. Because you're just like, why is my door popping? Who's coming in my room? Why is my door about to be open if I'm not trying to come out? So a lot of things change psychologically for you, whether it be physical, mental, emotional, everything. You know, this is an environment where you can't show too much weakness because you will be taken advantage of.
So I want to ask you, how much have you changed since you've been here?
I feel like I've changed a lot because when I was out in the world the first time, you know, before this experience, I felt like I had it all. I felt like I knew everything. You know, I was a high school graduate. I went to college. I did everything that you would think, you know, the way I was raised I would do. But I really didn't have it all. You know, I'm in college, full-time parent to two daughters. So I was always running back and forth. I relied on my parents too much to help me live. I wasn't very independent, even though I moved out at 18. Like, it was a joke, really.
So you got 2 kids?
Yes.
How old are the kids?
8 and 4. I actually have 3. I have one son by circumstance, and he's 6. So I got 8, 6, and 4.
Okay. Mental health. So you dealt with it with your sister?
Yes.
Okay. And so when you saw that course here being offered, why did you take it?
So I took it because I wanted to be able to, one, understand her better and also understand myself better, because I've been closely raising my sister since I was 12 because my mother had brain surgery on my 12th birthday. And my father had to take a lot on with helping her as far as being disabled and stuff like that. So a lot of the responsibilities of my sister fell on me. So that brought us together, but I never really knew how to always deal with all of her challenges. And so with the mental health course, they teach you a broad spectrum of everything that can be affected as far as the human mind.
So we need to keep that around.
Oh, definitely.
We need to keep that around. So you brought a book.
Yes, so this is my personal journal that I had for the course.
So what do you want us to tell us about this book? Look, I'm gonna give you the time just to tell us about the book, or tell us whatever you want to tell us.
So the best way I can explain it is, you remember, you're married, right, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The first time that you ever met your wife and she asked you, tell me about yourself.
Right.
Was that easy or hard for you? As far as just that broad question.
You can give it to them, but it's really hard.
Exactly. Because they're giving you the floor to just say whatever. But then when they ask you a specific question,
you stall.
So with me, it was, you can ask me about my mental health and I'll just tell you it's fine. But then when you ask me a specific question, I can write you a page about something that I would have never even thought of until I actually thought on that specific question.
So which one stand out in your mind the most?
So one would be, here we go. Okay, boom. Write a letter to your younger self. What advice would you offer? I said the advice I would give is don't allow the fear of the unknown to stop you from chasing dreams. A lot of life experience comes from adventure. Don't settle or become complacent with a comfortable living with no risk. With no risk, there is no reward. Waiting too late to live your life will leave you with regrets in life. Everyone has the same 24 hours, and eventually their time will come. So you might as well live every day like it's your last. Live your life with no reserves and put all the cards on the table.
Wow. So that was your thought.
That was my thought.
What's another one? If you had to give me another one, which is another one? Because that was, I understand that completely.
Okay.
And so you started this journal when?
I started it June 3rd. That was the first day we did a journal.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the journal is important.
Very important, actually, yes.
So that's something you're gonna always keep right there.
And continue, because that was one thing that I never thought about, journaling thoughts. Like, to actually put it on paper, it makes it permanent.
Right.
And then you can go back and look like, okay, this is how my mindset was 3 months ago. This is how my mindset was 2 years ago. And you can see the difference in how you think and how you move.
And this class helped you?
Yes, definitely. Definitely did. This
Never would have thought you would take it.
Not when I first got here, because I didn't think I had a problem with mental health.
And people think when we talk about mental health, they think you need to be sitting in a corner, you know, walking around, sucking your thumb, or rocking back and forth and, you know, craziness. That's not it. It's just your mind.
The most functional people actually have a mental health diagnosis and they don't even know it.
Don't even know it. And you learned that through mental health.
Yes, sir.
And you probably seen a lot of people that said didn't even know it.
Yep.
Some of your friends you probably see don't even know it.
And then now that I see the signs and know the symptoms, I'm like, yeah, he had this. He doesn't know it, but he definitely.
So what's some of the signs that you recognize that you had and you didn't realize it?
So with my depression, I get depressed around the holidays of Christmas because I lost my great-grandmother the day after Christmas in 2019. I will isolate myself, like Christmas, okay, I'm with the family. But from the day after Christmas until the day before my birthday, which is 2 weeks later, I will be isolated. I won't want to be around nobody. I kind of just be in my head, just doing my own thing.
And that because you lost your great-grandmother?
Yes, because she was like a second mother to me. When my mom was in the military the first couple of years, she gave guardianship to her.
Really?
So she raised me from the years of being born till I was 4.
Wow.
For my mom's first tour.
So
I was with her
you
every
and her
day.
close. Wow.
Very.
And so you get depressed, and then you didn't realize that. You just thought that I'm just chilling for these 2 weeks.
Yeah, I just looked at it as like, you know, my mom does the same thing. She kind of just goes in her mind. I think I felt like it was just normal for us to do that because this was around that time. But then when I really thought deeper on it, I don't never feel that way any other time of the year.
Wow. Okay. So you got another verse in the book here for us?
Yes. On June 26th, they asked me, write about a moment that always warms my heart, no matter how much time has passed. And I said, every Sunday at 3:45, I have a video visit with my parents. It's like clockwork, and we rarely miss it. But on this specific Sunday, my mother surprised me. She had both of my daughters with her, Adriana and Aubrey. During the visit, my oldest daughter wanted to show me a little TikTok dance that she had learned. And so everyone had been telling me that she danced and did TikToks, but I'd never seen it.
And she's how old?
She's 8.
Okay.
And so looking at her dance was like looking backwards in time. Like, it's literally looking at a carbon copy of myself because that's all I did as a kid. I loved it. I was that kid that I came in the room with all the older heads and they was like, hey, do that little dance with me.
And you did.
And I did it. And so it was just like, it warms my heart because it was another assurance that people be like, you know, that's your twin. That she's just a girl version of you.
So you think so?
Definitely, yeah.
You wouldn't change it?
No, not a day in life.
So I'm gonna ask this question, but some people say that's not true. You got kids, but it's that special one.
No, I wouldn't say that. All 3 of my kids have a specialty to themselves.
There you go.
Yes.
And that's what I want you to hear, because people say, no, I tell my wife, no, all of my kids got a specialty to me.
Yeah.
My baby, that's it. That's me.
Mm-hmm.
The middle one, he don't care. You know, he's me. If somebody sees us, he talks like me. He walks like me. People, I saw a picture of me coming into college, and I thought it was him. I said, when did Garry? My wife said, that's you. I was like, oh my God. Now my oldest, she's a combination of all of them, and you know, and that's what it's good to hear to say. They all have a special thing, but my baby, she's that one. You know,
Yeah.
we call her the bandit, the bandit man, the bandit that do anything you want to. But you know, we talk about mental health because they go through it with me because of my job, and they go through it with me because of sometimes I'm just tired, or they see something on TV about their father, and people, you know, have conversation about their father, and not knowing that they're my kids, because my kids don't let nobody knows who they are, and then you know, it's just. It's deep for them, and I know that I had to tell my wife that my kids go through a mental issue also, and she didn't. I said no, you know they do. You know, my daughter, my baby went through some stuff with her just growing up. She grew up fast, and then she's in a high performing job. My oldest, you know, got 3 boys, and I mean they are boys. They're boys. Then my son, you know, he lost a couple of friends. Nothing to violence. But, you know, the airplane crash in D.C. when the helicopter hit the airliner, that was my son's friends and a co-worker. And, you know, they lose people in their life just in car accidents or drowning during the summer. And so they get depressed. And so people don't understand that's all mental health.
Yes.
That's all mental health.
Yeah, definitely with my oldest daughter, I see it affect her the most because we talk the most as far as she can verbally express herself with me better than my other 2 kids.
So she expressed herself by you being here?
Yes. Yeah,
And
so originally when I first got here, I did, you know, kind of a similar thing that most parents do. They tell their kids, you know, I'm at a new job, I'm at school, stuff like that. But then with my daughter, she's too smart. So me telling her I was at a new job, it got probably 3 months in, she was like, Dad, this can't be no new job because I can never call you. You got to call me. I can never just FaceTime you like I could at your old job. Like, we don't never FaceTime. Whenever I see you is when it's set up at a specific time, I got to see you. She was like, so something's going on. So finally, I talked to her mother and told her the truth that I was incarcerated. And from then on, like, her anxiety and depression just shot through the roof. You know, she's always asking me about my court dates, when I'm going to court, when they're going to let me go home. Yeah.
And she's how old?
She's 8. And I mean, she remembers. If I tell her my court date, I told her my last court date was in June 12th. I told her about it. When I went to court, it got pushed back to December 12th. When I told her about that, maybe a month later, she was like, Dad, you still go to court December 12th? I'm like, you remember the exact date? She was like, yeah. You told me you go to court in December.
So have you seen, have they come in to visit here?
Yes, my daughter has come to see me one time with her mother.
And that's
My
face to
oldest-
face?
Yeah, my oldest daughter, yeah.
And they live here in Charlotte?
Yes, both my kids live in Charlotte. Well, all of my kids live in Charlotte, yes.
So I'm going to ask you just like I asked you before. So what if I arrange for her before December, before you get out, to have that contact visit, sit down, hold her, let her laugh, let her play with you? I mean, and I don't want to push that, but is that something that would help her and you believe?
Yes, it would actually. That would be bigger than the visit with my mother, honestly, because one of the programs that I missed out on and I wanted to take so much was the parenthood program.
Yeah, because we put the fathers and the mothers in,
Yeah.
and you play and have fun and do stuff. But I'm going to make sure that we take care of that also. I think that's something very important to me because I know how it is for my kids and for me and my kids. And I said it for me and my kids, God, I don't know if I can not touch my kids, hold my kids, or do anything like that. So that is huge. What else you want to tell us about mental health? Well, I mean, if you give the people that advice out there in the audience, because we were going to talk about something totally different, but you know, we want to talk about why should people do it?
Well, I feel like people should do it because if you remember in my graduation, I actually studied statistics for my my speech because I wanted to know exactly.
You still got them notes there?
Nah,
Man, I wish I had that because I wanted them. Because I told somebody, that dude studied something, man. You had more numbers and stats than I could ever remember.
Nah, but I know that the counselors have availability to my
Right.
speech. My mom sent it to them, so they have it if you ever want a copy.
Okay.
But yeah, like I wanted to know exactly how it affects the world in general. And most people don't know the U.S. population, we only circum maybe 4% of the world's population, but we hold 22% of incarcerated individuals. And approximately 2/3 of all those incarcerated individuals have a diagnosis of mental health, but they don't get treatment.
You remember that?
I remember that.
Now, believe it or not, we're going to talk about that again. I think we're going to have you back because I think that we're going to really talk about this some more, and I want to do that very soon. And we're going to have you back because they just passed what they call a House bill, a law that goes in effect December 1st, where people are going to be held here at the detention center and across North Carolina to be treated for mental health, behavioral health, or whatever they call it. But I know we probably are going to be all right, but then other smaller cities, counties, municipalities are not going to have the treatment centers or treatment information that we have here. But that's important, isn't it?
It's definitely important because a good example that I know everybody around the world has seen. They got a spotlight on Charlotte right now because of the incident with the young lady on the train.
Everybody.
That man, a lot of people don't know, is schizophrenic.
Right.
He has mental health.
Right.
They're just saying, oh, we're easy on crime. No, it's not that. It's that he wasn't able to be held because of the specific charge that he had. There are statutes and limitations to how you can hold somebody. They might be able to just get released on their own reconnaissance. But because he did not get the help he needed mentally for his diagnosis, he had an episode.
And people don't understand, our listeners and a lot of people in the city don't understand that, people come here in and out, not treated.
Yes.
In and out, not treated. Come in post bond and back out on the street that need help but don't get help. And then they commit a crime like this gentleman allegedly have done or done. Most people say, why are you saying allegedly? Well, that's just a word that people use and should be used. So mental health is big. And are you happy about you taking it?
Yes, I am, because I have a new outlook on my life and the lives of others that I can actually relate to now that have mental health, whether in my family or in someone else's family.
So now you better understand what your sister was going through.
Yes, especially, they have a exercise where you can have on headphones and experience what it feels like to be schizophrenic, where you hear all the voices and stuff like that.
Wow.
And it's like on one side it's one person conversation, the other is a different conversation, but this is all while you're trying to think in your head, and this is what they go through every day.
And you took that here?
No, I didn't take it here, but I talked to officers that have taken it, and
right.
When she explained it to me, she was like, I can honestly understand how that can, cause somebody to have a frantic episode.
But you're glad you take it here? I
definitely am glad that I had that opportunity to take it.
Never would experience, you wouldn't have thought that you would have got what you got here. People don't understand. We do a good job here. I don't brag about it. I say we just do things that other people don't do, and we try to treat people with humanity. We try to treat people with respect, but we try to give them the resources that they need through the programs that we have to create better citizens. So you believe that you're going back home better?
Yes, sir, I do. I would have never, if I never got incarcerated, I never would have even thought about dealing with my mental health. I would have just self-medicated. I'd still be doing the same thing that I was doing 3 years ago.
Wow.
And it wouldn't be really working towards it. It wouldn't be no help.
So it's sad to say, coming here, going through all of the programs, but this is one that really helped you.
Yes, sir, it did.
Good. Anything else you want to talk about? Because we're going to have you back. I think that we're going to do a second part and talk about some more stuff because I really appreciate it. This is helpful for me too, but I will promise you this. We will get you those visits because now I have to, because I need to. It's part of my mission and vision here, but we'll make sure you get that done.
Well, I appreciate this opportunity to just be able to speak on behalf of all the inmates. Well, I'm sorry, all of the residents.
Yeah.
I'm happy that we have this opportunity to be able to voice our concerns or even our praises because you do a good job.
And people laugh at that. They think that, I'm a little different. I love being around my staff. I love being around the residents. And I heard one guy say, man, he'd been to about 10 jails, prisons, whatever. He said he ain't never seen the sheriff. And he says, man, you just come around and just talk to people. And I said, I think that I do that to help myself, but also help the others to not to take away any of the humanity that we should have here. And I just told them that's what I do. You know I get Jack criticized and everything every week, but I have to do what I need to do.
But they're not in here.
They're not in here.
That's the main thing is they're not in here seeing what you're doing.
Right.
They're just talking from the outside.
Well, I appreciate it. Anything else?
No, sir. Thank you.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the podcast of the pods, podcast from the pods, pod 4100, the Mecklenburg County Detention Center, because we don't say jail. And as we always say, if you don't have a plan, they will have a plan for you. We're out.